I guess you have all heard the news by now. We now have a matchup Jake Paul versus Nate Diaz. Dana White said that Jake Paul versus Nate Diaz makes sense and Nate Diaz can have that matchup. Nate Diaz have one fight left in his UFC contract, so he can have that fight. But Dana White said that the fight that makes sense for Nate Diaz is versus Jake Paul. I don't know, man. I just don't like this matchup, to be honest, because Jake Paul is not a welterweight. He's not a lightweight. He's too heavy. He's a too heavy puncher. I don't think he's superior in boxing than Nate Diaz. But how long, man? How long this guy is getting such an easy matchup? I just don't like it. This is not a good matchup for Nate Diaz. Jake Paul, we have seen of all the things that Jake Paul can be, he can be a heavy puncher, and I think he is going to probably knock out Nick Diaz cold. I really don't want to say this. I just feel really bad saying this, but I don't like this matchup for Nate Diaz. Ever since those fights with Conor McGregor, Nate Diaz's popularity has been rising. Everybody's loving this form of Nate Diaz. He was little brother of Nick Diaz. Everybody liked him, but since his fight with Conor McGregor, his popularity has been on the rise. And even though he's losing fights recently, but still, people are believing that he may have won the fight if the fight was more than 5 rounds because of his cardio. And if you say that the cardio is going to be a factor in the match against Jake Paul, because Jake Paul is a heavy puncher, he might lose his energy. He don't have the better cardio, stamina and strength. I just don't like it because when you say that Jake Paul here controls everything, I think he can reduce the number of rounds in this fight, because he's actually paying Nate Diaz. So you should be careful of that. I just don't like this matchup for Nate Diaz. He's a volume puncher. He will never have chance against a power puncher like Jake Paul, especially in a boxing match. If it's a mixed martial arts match, I don't like Jake Paul's chances because of jiu-jitsu and all the other stuff, because Jake Paul said that he wants to be the last fight of Nate Diaz in the UFC. That's crazy, because I don't think you can learn jiu-jitsu and wrestling as fast as you can learn boxing because of all the defensive things. But no, man, I just really don't like this chance for Nate Diaz. Jake Paul, on the other hand, has a win-win situation. He might win this fight. He might, if he loses, and like Nate Diaz shows superior boxing and greater defense. And I don't think Nate Diaz will show greater defense, because he's not the defense guy. He's not. Trust me, he's not. He's one of those guys who has strong chin. That's why he's not getting knocked out all the time. But he's one of those tough guys. But he will find out this power that Jake Paul possesses. He's 200 pounds. Nate Diaz is 155 pounds. So there's 45 pounds difference. Even though Nate Diaz have had some fights in welterweight division, and that's again 300-pound difference. I really don't like his chances here. There could be multiple things that can happen. Like Jake Paul can actually put a knockout punch. I don't think everybody might hope, like we mixed martial arts fan may hope that like Nate Diaz somehow schools Jake Paul by his superior boxing. And Nate Diaz's boxing is good, is very good, but it's not up to the level of boxing. It's good for a mixed martial arts fight. It's not good for boxing. Yeah, that's the truth, and we don't want to say it because we are a mixed martial arts fan. But you know what? I don't like his boxing in a boxing match because of the defense, because of lack of defense, because of the head movement. In mixed martial arts fight, you don't need head movement, because if you show good head movement, the other person will straight up kick you in your face. So I don't like head movement in mixed martial arts. So that's why mixed martial artists never learn head movement. So that's why I think this will be a very tough matchup for Nate Diaz. And on the other hand, you have to remember that Jake Paul here controls everything, because Jake Paul can pay Nate Diaz good amount of money to make this fight short, to make this any type of fight. I mean, like, whatever Jake Paul likes. If he wants to make it 6 round fight, he can make it a 6 round fight. If he wants it to be a heavier fight, I mean, like, he can do whatever he wants. I mean, Dana White have accused Jake Paul of using steroids. I don't know much about that, but I feel like Jake Paul is a muscular guy and Nate Diaz is not a muscular guy. I mean, really don't think so. Really don't think. I mean, Nate Diaz cannot knock out Jake Paul in one punch. He's a good boxer, but defensively he's not that good. So in boxing you need offense and defense, and he's good in offense, but defensively I don't think he's good. So if I had to put my money on, I mean, my heart goes to Nate Diaz because of mixed martial arts, because of being a mixed martial arts fan. I'm a boxing fan too, but it's tough, man. It's tough to say that Nate Diaz is going to get knocked out in this fight. Nate Diaz is going to get knocked out. So if you want to put money in this fight, I mean, I think it's Jake Paul. So you should bet on. So that's it for the video. I just don't like this matchup. I really don't like. I just want to see. I don't want to. I'm not one of those people who want to see Jake Paul getting knocked out, because I'm a mixed martial arts fan, and this man has just been training this man who's been in Disney movies basically has been training for just 2 to 3 years. I'm not one of those guys. I just want him to face someone who can give him legitimate troubles in boxing ring, like a good boxing matchup where he fights a real boxer. He's not fighting a real boxer, he's fighting a mixed martial arts people. I mean, like, who's good at wrestling, and who's one of the craziest thing about this is like one who are like 2 to 3 weight classes below him. So that's crazy. That's why I don't like this. So that's it for this video. If you really like the content, please like, share and subscribe for mixed martial arts and boxing related content. Thanks.